The budget has landed and it has all the elements to please the most vulnerable. Welfare spending as a total of the budget now supersedes health spending, and it's structural, much of it. There's little to no reform and kicks the big spending problems off down the road. On the government's own prediction, 140,000 people will also lose their jobs in the next 2 years, and there'll be about 700,000 new migrants arriving in the same time period. Let's go live to Trudy McIntosh now. It seems this budget is boiling down to central questions about what happens with inflation, Trudy.
And this, Laura, proves to be the test for this budget. Does it add to the inflationary pressure we see in the economy at the moment, or does it take some of the heat out of it? Well, the answer to that, it depends who you ask. According to Treasurer Jim Chalmers and the Prime Minister, their advice from Treasury is that the cost of living measures do take some of the pressure off the CPI. In particular, they point to the energy bill relief that had been flagged for millions of households. It also includes the price caps that were already in place as well for coal and gas. Now, the overall impact of that, we're told, is to reduce inflation by 0.5% in the next financial year. But the question is whether in total the overall spending increase over the forward estimates does mean that it puts more demand into the economy, more inflation, and potentially we're going to see the need for further interest rate rises. On that point, Treasurer Jim Chalmers on this program last hour indicating it's his understanding that the Reserve Bank Governor won't feel the need to massively hike interest rates as a result of this budget.
You know, obviously I engage with the Governor and others from time to time about the settings that we have in our budgets.
Can you talk to us how much you have engaged with the Governor about this, given that, you know, there's a separation of power here, we hope?
Well, obviously I have a number of confidential conversations with the Governor and I'm not going to get into that, but I think I can say that obviously in the context of these rate rises and this inflation challenge in our economy, I'm not going to do anything to make that worse.
So under this budget, at the very least, we know that interest rates will be higher and for longer, which is going to be a double whammy for Australian families.
Opposition leader Peter Dutton seizing on comments by respected economist Chris Richardson last night. His verdict on this budget is, yes, while the spending on cost of living measures was important for vulnerable Australians, it does have the overall impact of potentially putting inflationary pressure into the economy, and the likelihood is that we will see another rate rise. This is Chris Richardson, the man of the hour, for his verdict.
But that extra money into the economy, not offset by tough decisions, I think is an inflation risk, and I think it risks bringing the Reserve Bank back off the bench.
Okay.
It's worth reminding viewers what some of those big cost of living measures are. It included an increase for JobSeeker. We've been talking about that for several weeks. $40 a fortnight, the increase, much lower than the $40 a day that some of the welfare advocates have been pushing for. There's more money for rent relief, more support on the way too for energy bills. We knew that package last December. So a big spending budget, Laura. The government says it's not inflationary. I suppose we'll just have to wait and see to see if that does actually play out.